Hello guys, I'll be talking about digital technologies can reinforce the human values in the society and cause new ethical gap between different social groups today. So here are the roadmaps of my presentation. In this presentation, I'll be taking you through the definition and importance of the human values in the digital technologies era. We would focus on how technologies reinforce and reshape the human values in society using the case study about social media celebrities. Secondly, the presentation will be targeted on ethical dilemmas in different social groups using the case study of self-service technologies in supermarket. Finally, I will provide some recommendations of how people can do to deal with the ethical dilemmas. So the first question is, what are the human values? Here are some human definitions of human values. John Dewey argued that guiding social aims and beliefs which are regarded as important aspects of a culture. Then the different aspects of culture are also valued by the people, and the idea lying behind which they think worthwhile are called values. The values are defined as something which are desirable and worthy of esteem for their own sakes. So what I define as the human values are defined as those values which can help a man to live in harmony and with happiness in the society. So I will say any abilities, any personalities to help the humans live better in the society are called human values. So the definition of human values are very wide. So here is the importance of human values. The human values possess a significant position in the society. Human values can help people form a cognitive structures that describe the ideal life of individuals and their preferences, their priorities, their principles, and their behavior of a cognitive. Secondly, the human values can bring different people together into the groups with the same point of view. So the human values are really effective on the cultural elements and shape the cultural elements around the point of views. So let's move on to the main topic today. How does the digital technologies will reinforce or even reshape the human values? So I would argue they reshape the human values or reinforce the human values through the reinforce or reshape the cognitive structures of human using the digital technologies. Here are examples as using social medias and internet to change the human behavior or habits to reinforce or reshape their values in the daily basis. Here are case studies on the celebrities on social media platform. Here are the backgrounds of social media celebrities. So what is a social media celebrity? A social media celebrity is who has acquired or developed their fame and notabilities through the social medias. How do they do that? So the rise of the social medias has helped people to increase their reach to the global audience. They can reach the audience through the internet, through the social media, through the YouTube, and etc. So in this role, they are crucial influences and the multipliers for trend in genres include fashions, beauties, technologies, video games, politics, music, sports, and entertainment. Almost every genre in our daily life. So how do their values are being reshaped through the social medias? The social medias are trying to create authenticities to reshape the social media celebrities their values. The social media reshape the celebrities' cognitive structures on their social media platforms, profiles, images to create the authenticity. Here are examples of authenticity created by the vlogger Enzo and his girlfriend announced via an emotional vlog on YouTube that they were breaking up. However, a few months later, they were back together. So they're trying to create authenticity that make people think they are a real person, but what they do are fake. So here are another examples of how the authenticity reshaped the human values of the social celebrities. In 2020, Nalita Taylor, who has 2.2 million YouTube followers, posted a series of photos on Instagram that appeared to show her enjoying a luxury vacation on the resort in Bali, Indonesia. But as she later explained it, the photos were actually taken at her local IKEA. She said life on the internet isn't always what it seems, especially in this day and age, where it's so easy to pretend to be anyone you want it to be. So I would say the social medias have changed the people's values from being real selves to be anyone that you wanted to be. You are not your real self, but you are trying to be that people want you to be. So the main two factors here to have the change is the rise of the social medias give chance to expose to global audience, and they're easier to access to the fame and money on the social media. So people are seek for fame and seek for money, and they change their human values to be themselves, to be what people want to be. Here are another example of celebrities on social media platform. They reinforce the idea of being the figure the audience want to see on the social medias. The social media celebrities will maintain their images on social media. They will post more profiles and images to maintain their figures, which allow them keep using the social media and technologies. Example, the celebrities would update their content regularly on the social media platform to maintain their followers and their figures on the social media platform. So let's move on to the ethical dilemma in different social groups. Here are the trolley problems which are mentioned in the lecture. The moral dilemmas when an individual must compromise between the violating moral rules and maximizing the overall good. The systems come into a conflict. However, I think the trolley problems or the moral dilemmas can be adapted in different ways. So the wider use of technologies always lead to the harm of the certain working groups, e.g. such as the job loss of the certain industry groups. However, the use of technology increased efficiency and saved time for the overall industry. So here are three main groups for the decision makings in the moral dilemmas in technologies. The first one is trolley drivers. Definitely the system designers should evaluate between the moral rules and the profit. Second is bystanders. It means the publics or the people who are not in the industry or systems, which will intervene the decisions of the drivers. The third is the people on the track. The people on the track who are the social groups who are directly associated with the industry or work in the industry. So I will say the moral dilemma not only in the technology use but also happen between the technology applications, between the technology applications and the certain social groups. So here are the case studies, the use of self-service technologies in the retail. So here are the background of the case study. With the rapid advancement in technology, self-service technologies is one such channel being adopted by the retailers to serve the consumers and the customers. Adoptions of this technology has changed the concept of customer staff relationship to customer technology relationship. So here are the images of one of the self-serve technologies used in the supermarket. So here are two moral dilemmas I will define in the case studies. First is the moral dilemma between the markets and the stuffs used to be in the market or supermarket right now. Some of markets and stores completely eliminate the cashiers, the checkout systems, or the staffs to help them check out. So that means the jobs such as sales assistants, store managers, cashiers, and other service staff will now be eliminated as well. So the retail working groups will lose their jobs when the self-serve technologies are widely used and applied. And the more they are used, the more people will lose their jobs. So secondly is the moral dilemma between the technologies and the consumers or the customers. So the money collection of the self-services technologies may cause some mistakes. The consumers cannot get the money back. For example, if the machine goes wrong, when you insert money, you can't get the money back. So the key findings revolve that through the hierarchy analysis that the contouring non-technology drivers, such as employee services, employee escape, or value of money, explained 75.1% of consumer satisfaction by themselves. However, the use of self-service technologies are not so satisfied by the consumers. So here are some of the main recommendations of moral dilemmas in technologies. The first is the consistency of the technologies. Technology should not make mistakes when it is applied to the machine or whatever. So then technology should be used by people perfectly. The second is the bystanders. The public should be mostly agree with the technology used in the moral dilemma or moral questions. Third, the consumer should be satisfied with the technology use. And finally, the working groups and consumers should be provided with self-protective values. Thanks for watching my presentation today.